Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an apple cinnamon coffee cake. And if you're excited for this one, you should be, because it's going to be a super easy recipe to take for your potlucks, for the holidays, family gatherings. And you know what? When you have some left over to have with coffee in the morning, well, that's what this cake is all about. So let me go ahead and show you how to bake it. First, we're going to go ahead and add our butter. Our sugar. Please excuse if you hear chewing, I have a puppy. He's chewing on a bone. And we're gonna add our baking powder, our salt, and we're gonna begin to combine, okay? What we're gonna do next is we're gonna be adding our eggs and our milk. And for the vanilla, I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it into my milk. And I'll start off with one egg, incorporate it well, and then you're gonna see me pouring our milk blend in a little bit at a time, okay? My kitchen's a bit cold today, so I hope it doesn't mess with my baking. But what we're gonna start doing now is we're gonna go ahead and start incorporating our flour a little bit at a time, okay? You guys still with me? Don't be falling asleep. We're gonna get through this. Okay, you're gonna notice that we're looking for a silky smooth consistency. This is pretty silky, but just by looking at it, I know that I need to add just a little bit more. So I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon more of milk, blend it in here just so that I get that right consistency. If it looks dry, your cake's gonna be dry and it's not gonna work out. You want enough moisture, not too much, but you'll see. All right, we're ready here. Look at that, silky smooth. It's nice and shiny. This is gonna be delicious. So I just want to clarify with you guys that I started off with slow, and the highest speed I went was a medium, a number 5 on here. So just take it easy, just until everything's well blended together, okay? Once we have our cake batter ready, that's when we're gonna go ahead and add our apples. And all I did was chop a pink lady, green apple, and I squeezed a little bit of lime juice to prevent the oxidation, but it still happens. It's an apple. So you want to use whatever apples you have at hand. But I definitely recommend you guys add at least 1 tart apple to bring out that good balance of the baked goods of You know, that apple cinnamon. You guys already know. You guys are gonna get too worked up if I tell you right now. You see how the batter is smooth? We're able to blend all the apples in here. That's the consistency you want. And for some reason, every time I bake this cake, I always have to add that extra tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of milk, regardless of how much milk I've used, you know? I always say make it comfortable for your home, whether it's a dry, arid area or high altitude. You gotta work around it. All right, now that we have all our apples well incorporated into our batter, we're gonna get started on our filling. Now for our filling, it's gonna be the same on how I showed you how to make the coffee cake. The only difference really is the apples and a few other items. So let's go ahead and put our brown sugar, pinch of salt, and our cocoa powder. And my recommendation for you guys is that if you want more of a coffee flavor into your cake, at this point you would add some instant coffee, like 1 tablespoon of instant coffee. That would give you more of that coffee cake flavor, which for some reason coffee cake confuses a lot of people. You think you have coffee in there, but it's a morning cake that you have with your coffee. Okay, that's our filling. Now let's go ahead and get started on our streusel or crumble. This is one of the favorite items on this cake, okay? You're gonna add your sugar, your flour, your cinnamon, and your salt. Give that a good mix. This alone on its own tastes so good. But if you guys also want, you can add to the filling or to the crumble, you can add some chocolate from La Abuelita type of chocolate. If you guys like that flavor, it'll come through. Or if you want to add some more of your instant coffee and really be wired for that day, go for it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start putting our butter in here so that we can start getting all that delicious crumble started. I think ever since I was a little girl, that's been my favorite part of like crumble and streusel cakes. And I think everybody knows it as something different, right? Let me know in the comments if you know this cake as streusel or coffee cake. Because I already talked to you guys about this before. My husband, if it says streusel, he will not eat it. But if it says coffee cake, he will. And that's how I had to master this recipe for my husband. So you're going to use a tip of your fingers to start blending our mixture into the butter, okay? This is a good recipe for family because you can give every person, you're gonna be in charge of the batter, you're in charge of the filling, and somebody else is in charge of the streusel. And as they start getting older, they have different tasks. And then they go home and make it all by themselves. So just continue to do this until you incorporate that butter into our blend completely. I'll show you what consistency we're looking for right now. Okay, do you see that sand consistency that we have going on? That means that you incorporated that butter in here well. Now, if you guys are using margarine, you're on your own because I can't help you with that one because I think when you make streusel, it's best with butter, okay? So look at, you see how you're able to make little balls with it? Those are the crumbles we're gonna be able to achieve on the top of the cake. So now that we have that, let's start assembling this delicious cake. What we're gonna do now is you wanna make sure that whatever baking dish that you're using, you've already coated it with oil, something non-stick, butter, because this is a cake that's gonna need it, okay? We're gonna first add half of our batter, and then we're gonna be adding our filling, And then we're gonna top it with our batter, and then we're gonna add a little bit more of our filling on top, okay? Now let's get started. If you guys don't have your oven preheated, make sure that you have it preheated at 350 degrees. Just go ahead and smear it all at the bottom of your pan. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Just somewhat even. Let's go ahead and start adding our filling. You can smooth the little brown sugar that you have going on. Some of them are a little bit hard, take those out. But for the most part, they're all pretty soft for me, and they're gonna blend right into what we have going on. Okay? It's gonna be up to you. Now let's add the remaining cake batter. Every little counts, so don't leave it behind. Now, when we spread this cake batter, you want to be careful. You just want to go for it, because if you go back and forth, you're going to be lifting up some of the filling, and that's not what we want to do yet, okay? Be confident when you're pushing it out. And you are going to have to move your baking dish. See, I just lifted some of it up. I'm human. It's going to happen to me. So if you need to move your dish, go ahead and move it. You know, I've been using the glass baking dish to make this, and this is my first time trying this particular dish, and I wanted it to be super cute to impress my family, but seeing as we're going now, I should have picked my glass baking dish. There we go. So just take your time. So once we've smoothed out the layer, that's when you're gonna add the next part of your filling. And we're just gonna layer it on the top. So is it really a layering? Yes, it is. I just think this makes it look a lot prettier. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and make the beautiful marbling inner cake. So go ahead and get a butter knife, a little groove, clean it up over here. I'm gonna go for another one on this one. Okay, and now we're gonna follow along right here. Once you're done with that step, you want to go ahead and get your crumble, your streusel, and I like to give it a good squeeze to get a good clump, and then I start coming over and layering it. Just like that. Some of them are going to be big, some small. And they're going to be about the size that you want them to be. You see some that are way too big? Go ahead and break them down a bit. I'm just gonna slightly press it in. Not really heavy, just be very gentle. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and bake our cake at 350 degrees for 50 minutes to 1 hour. At about 45 minutes, you wanna go ahead and check this cake because it's gonna depend a lot on your oven. So I'll see you guys once this is ready. Okay, it's been 50 minutes for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick a little skewer in there. You can use a toothpick, a fork. And if it comes out clean, you're ready. So now we're gonna go ahead and take this out of the oven. I'm gonna set it somewhere safely on my counter and let it cool for about 15-20 minutes. You don't wanna cut into it right now, and you really don't wanna do that to your stomach. So I'll see you guys in a little bit for a tasting. It's been 20 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and begin slicing up this cake. Yes, it smells so good. It smells like apple cinnamon throughout my house. So if you wanna make this before the kids get out of school, ideal. They come home, smell a nice house. Probably be nicer to you. If you guys don't finish the cake, make sure you put it in a good container. That way it doesn't dry out, okay? Okay, what piece do you want? Corner piece? Yeah, you guys always want the corner piece. Let me try and get in there. You guys want the hardest piece to get out, that first one. Look at that deliciousness. I'm so ready to taste that. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh, 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 I'm so excited. This is super fluffy. I can see the layering in here and I'm ready. I can smell it. I'm ready to taste this. Oh my god, that's so good. That is delicious. It tastes like apple cinnamon coffee cake. You guys gotta try it. Please come back and let me know what you think. And make sure to save a piece for your coffee in the morning. That flavor that burst out of the apple is divine. All right, friends, there you have it. Apple cinnamon coffee cake. Yum, yes. If your family likes this recipe, please come back and let me know. Okay, and if you guys don't like it, then come back and let me know so we can work on another dish for you. And on that one, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Adios.